Today we're diving into the newest tech, EV, and Tesla updates, featuring the 400-mile range Tesla battery and major price drops on used Teslas. Let's jump right in. To kick things off today, the Tesla Model Y has regained its status as the top-selling vehicle in Europe, a position it has not held for 9 months until now. In September, Model Y sales in Europe fell by 8.6% compared to last year, reaching 25,938 units. In the first 9 months of 2025, around 109,193 Model Y units were sold in Europe, proving its market performance. This is a decrease of about 29.2% compared to the same period in 2024, when sales were approximately 155,000 units. In the 9-month period, a few cars that we don't have in the US, like the Sandero, Clio, and T-Roc, outperformed the Model Y. Overall, the new car market in Europe showed positive growth with a 10.5% increase in September sales compared to last year, though year-to-date growth was about 1.1%. So as we can see, the Model Y claimed the top spot for the month, marking clear progress compared to recent months, though sales are still down year-to-date, showing it's not a full rebound yet. Some people may celebrate this top ranking, and while it's a positive sign, it doesn't mean we're back to the same sales strength the Model Y once had in the market. Another factor we notice in Europe, unlike in the US, is strong competitive pressure. That's largely due to affordable brands and new models from Chinese automakers entering the region. When that happens, buyers get far more budget-friendly choices. In the US, those alternatives remain limited. Overall, it's still positive news for Tesla in Europe, and we'll have to see how things go once the Model Y Standard and Model 3 Standard launch there. In the US, the gap is about $5,000, but in Europe the difference is more significant, with larger discounts that could help those versions perform better. Next up for Tesla, when it comes to the future of their lineup, the next entirely new vehicle design will be the Cybercab. One was recently seen testing, equipped with a full steering wheel, side mirrors, and a front license plate mount. What's particularly interesting is that it features a full steering wheel driven by someone up front, which likely means the setup is steer-by-wire. Otherwise, Tesla would need to add a large amount of unnecessary engineering. It's actually a bit amusing since many people have been asking for that feature in other Tesla models. Yet here it appears, even though Tesla doesn't intend to release it for production. Lars Moravi from Tesla explained, "If you see the Cybercab RC fleet, which stands for Release Candidate Fleet, driving around with steering wheels, it's just because we needed a way to test it. They're not for sale, it's purely for testing purposes." Moving on, Tesla has also announced a voluntary recall involving roughly 63,000 Cybertrucks across North America. The problem in this case affects every Cybertruck, as the front parking lights can surpass brightness levels allowed in the US and Canada. The root cause was a software control fault within the lighting system. The hardware meets standards, but the software could drive the lamps beyond legal limits. The solution, naturally, is an over-the-air software update, which Tesla is rolling out with version 2025.38.3. Or any newer version, which fully resolves the problem. No hardware changes or replacements are needed. Interestingly, Tesla rarely shares production numbers by model, so this recall size covering all Cybertrucks actually reveals total production, around 63,600 units. That's quite a bit lower than what both Tesla and many of its fans had expected for the Cybertruck by now. Moving on, we have the newest developments for Tesla's full self-driving software. Version 14 has been released, and from what I've seen, most owners using Hardware 4 are now running some form of that version. But there are plenty of hidden changes in this update, and they're quite interesting to spot. The first one I've noticed takes a bit of adjustment. The familiar blue autopilot steering wheel icon we've seen for years is now gone. Instead, the display shows the words, "self-driving," which light up to show when autopilot is active. There's also a soft blue glow that appears beneath the car, even while stationary, and it stays visible whenever FSD is turned on. A few new alert messages have been added too, such as increased attention required, which appears when nearing difficult areas like construction zones or railway crossings. Additionally, Start FSD from Park has been renamed to Start Self-Driving, and you can activate it almost any time, not just while parked. Essentially, Tesla may be replacing the scroll wheel or stalk control used on older models, letting you enable autopilot by tapping self-driving on-screen instead. Hands-free mode now has its own label, with its placement and performance improved, and the speed control system has been fully reworked. Previously, there was a speed offset option, but that has now been eliminated. The vehicle's speed is instead managed entirely by the chosen speed profile, rather than you adjusting it manually, like with a standard cruise control. When reaching your destination, the car can now automatically park head-in instead of only reversing as before. However, if it detects that the destination is a supercharger, it will back in as expected. As for Tesla's ride-hailing network, it will eventually integrate directly with the Cybercab platform. Tesla posted, "Our Bay Area ride-hailing service now includes SJC Airport. The robotaxi app now supports airport pickups, letting users select their airline and terminal before confirming which car will arrive." The robotaxi program keeps expanding, and recently, a validation vehicle was sighted in Peoria, Arizona, only about 13 minutes from downtown Phoenix. This matches Tesla's expected timeline to officially launch its ride-hailing operations in that region over the next few weeks. The main question now becomes whether the safety monitor will sit in the passenger seat or the driver's seat. For many users currently running full self-driving, they're using the subscription plan. Tesla recently rolled out a new rule for these subscriptions. If a car remains in service for over one business day, any active subscription or free trial will automatically get extended by an extra day. As for the upcoming Cybercab, Tesla has listed 30 new job openings tied directly to that project. Moving over to Panasonic, they're now working to create a new anode-free battery technology within roughly 2 years. The company expects development to finish by late 2027. This anode-free setup means the battery can be produced without a traditional anode, greatly improving cost and performance. The anode still forms, but in this case a lithium metal layer develops after the first charge. That frees up more space for extra cathode material, including nickel, cobalt, and aluminum, which boosts overall energy density. If successful, this breakthrough could raise battery capacity by around 25%. This is especially positive news for Tesla vehicles, since they rely on Panasonic batteries. In practical terms, a current Tesla Model Y could gain roughly 90 extra miles of range using the same battery pack. Additionally, Panasonic plans to lower the nickel content in their batteries, which could help reduce production costs as well. As usual, these are the types of battery improvements that Tesla finds most promising. While other companies discuss solid-state batteries and huge performance jumps, they rarely reach large-scale production. When Panasonic introduces something that delivers a 25% boost, it's far more realistic and exciting because it can likely be scaled within a reasonable time frame. Moving on, Tesla's future may not hinge so much on car sales, and the former Stellantis CEO has suggested that Elon Musk could eventually step away from the automotive sector entirely, focusing instead on areas like robotics, AI, or SpaceX. He claims that Tesla's current valuation is extremely high, and he questions whether the company can achieve the ambitious operational goals that investors expect. He also points out increasing competition from firms like BYD, which are strongly focused on cost efficiency and expansion. He even goes so far as to suggest he's unsure if Tesla will remain in its current form 10 years from now. In response, Elon Musk of course admitted he has no idea. Finally, today we have updates from other tech firms and automakers. Nike has unveiled Project Amplify, which they claim is the world's first powered footwear system. According to them, the system works like an e-bike, but for your feet. It features a lightweight robotic mechanism to enhance running and walking speed, designed for everyday athletes rather than elite sprinters. The hardware looks like an ankle brace with a motor, drive belt, and rechargeable battery. Nike's intended users are runners maintaining a 10 to 12-minute mile pace. For instance, everyday athletes, not the fastest performers. They say that they have worked with over 400 athletes over several years on this project, and it's still in the testing phase and hasn't been widely released or anything yet. It's a product they say will be brought to customers in the coming years. Next up, over at Apple, they've just announced the new iPad Pro with the M5 chip, and of course, we're already hearing about what's expected for the M6 version next year. The iPad Pro with the M6 chip is expected to include that chip along with vapor chamber cooling built into the chassis. The vapor chamber would help with heat dissipation in a fanless, slim tablet form factor, enabling for higher sustained performance. This is a similar move to what Apple has now introduced in the iPhone 17 Pro that now has vapor chamber cooling. The exact timeline for this launch isn't confirmed, but we expect it to be at least another year. But some people say it could come sometime in 2027. That's all for today's latest tech, EV, and Tesla updates. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.